Hey friends, I felt for a long time that the beginning of a year is the best time to make change. The true change is easier at the beginning of the year. And I never was able to figure out why, but I just felt it instinctively. It's like I just kind of knew it until I really dug into it and I figured out some things. And I want to share those things with you. I want to talk to you about why change is easier at the beginning of the year. Now, this is going to be a relatively short video. And I've got one goal on this video, and that's to motivate you to get up and do the thing that you've always wanted to do. I know many of you have been thinking about change. There's some things you'd like to change. Perhaps there's some things you've put off changing and you haven't decided to do it. And I'm telling you now, at the beginning of the year, this is the time to get moving and start working on change. Let's talk about it. So welcome back. We're talking about why there's no better time to start really working on change than now. The beginning of the year is absolutely the best time. Now, I felt this for some time, and I just knew it was, but I just figured out some reasons why. And I want to share those reasons with you why. The beginning of the year, what changes? What happens? Well, there are life cycles in the world, life cycles in the universe. Right? You know that from pregnancy. Now, a woman who's going to get pregnant can't get pregnant any time of the year she wants to, right? There are times when she can get pregnant, times when she can't get pregnant. That's called a life cycle. And that life cycle makes it easy to get pregnant at the right time, makes it impossible to get pregnant at the wrong time. Perhaps you've thought about crops, growing crops. I don't think a lot about those. I was born in New York and I grew up in a big city where there's a bunch of concrete. You get your tomatoes from the store. You don't get them from the garden. But later on, I moved to the South and I saw farming and began to understand all those things. And I don't know much about it, but I do know that there's certain times of the year that if you want to grow tomatoes or cucumbers or cabbage or spinach, you have to do it at a certain time of the year. Why? Because the conditions are right. The soil, nutrients are right, the amount of light that's available, maybe the temperature, the various things that line up, and they line up perfectly at that time. So that's kind of a life cycle thing. So, but just like with pregnancy and just like with farming, then we also operate on biological and environmental rhythms. We human beings do. We operate on biological and environmental rhythms. So something happens at the beginning of a new year. It often brings greater clarity. Often there's greater readiness. Often there's greater focus. It's a time when it's almost like the concrete becomes supple again. And it's like the Play-Doh that was hard becomes loose again. And it's a time that literally our biology, the life cycle of our life, is more primed for change. Now, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 says to everything, there's a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. And I really do believe beginning of a year, there's something that literally happens in the life cycle of humanity that makes it where it's an easier time for things to change. But there's also another reason. It's the psychological fresh start effect. There's like a psychological thing that says, I'm at the beginning of a year. And what that does is it gives you a mental separation from the past. So it's like the past is gone. I'm in a new year. So we perceive the future kind of like a clean slate. It's like we get a chance to start over. It's that clean slate reality. And that literally does give you momentum. It gives you the ability to really imprint new things on your life. That's a strong psychological effect. Then you've got what's called the cultural and social momentum. There's a cultural and social dynamic where everybody's thinking about resolutions. Everybody's thinking about change. Everybody's thinking about goal setting. Everybody's thinking about something different. But that corporate momentum, that corporate reality where we're doing this together, that tribal mindset actually gives you more momentum and motivation, and it makes it easier for you to change and do things differently in your life. It creates kind of a sense of collective momentum that becomes powerful for you. It makes personal transformation more palatable. It makes it more achievable. It makes it more available where you can just reach out and kind of grab it and touch it. And then there's something called a seasonal influence. Seasonal influence. So what is that? That's like natural activity. You know, during the holidays, natural activity slows down. You're not running to the same, well, you probably are running to the mall to get the sales and you're running to get the sweet potato pie done. And we have different things, but it's a different kind of productivity during the final months of the year. There's less daylight time and there's really a slowdown. We relax more. We watch more football or movies or Hallmark or whatever it is you do. And the New Year routines when the new year comes and we get back into the new year, it's like our energy spikes up. Now, I know you go into the holiday sluggish from all the food we ate and all the rest we took, but really we begin to perk up at the beginning of the year, and it's renewed energy, a renewed sense of synergy actually to begin to make change. And I think a fourth reason why change is easier at the beginning of the year is because there's renewed hope at the beginning of a year. Emotionally, a new year triggers a sense of hope because you made it another year. I mean, you're here and a lot of people are gone. Some people died that year and other people had tragic things happen that year, and you made it out of the year and things are good. So that actually gives you hope, and hope is a powerful, powerful motivator. Christopher Reeve says, once you choose hope, anything is possible. Once you choose hope, anything becomes possible. There's a verse I love in Romans 15:13, and it says, now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, that you may abound in hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. That's so powerful, because here's what it says, that one of the things the Holy Spirit wants to do is infuse you with hope. So if you let him get on you and let him touch you and let him feel you, one of the things he's after is to fill you with hope. Because why? Hope is one of the most powerful motivators we can ever have. In the beginning of a new year, hope is renewed in our life because we made it to another year. So there's a hopefulness that things can change. And that is a powerful, powerful motivator. And then I think what happens is we get clarity. We get practical clarity. We get vision. The end of the previous year often is like a time of reflection. We think about what went right and what went wrong, what we need to do different, and clarity emerges. We just begin to understand that, you know what? I need to do this different. This didn't work. That didn't work. It's a retrospective time that gives us new clarity, new focus, and new vision for the future. So I just wanted to stop by for a few minutes and just tell you something very, very, very important and something very vital. And that's the fact that now is the best time for you to get about that change. Whatever it is you've been thinking about doing, whatever you've been procrastinating about, whatever it is you even tried to do in the past you didn't do, I want you to do it now, but do it with new understanding that this really is the best time, maybe the easiest time for you to begin to make change. So here's what you need to do. Decide what you want to change. Get clear about what you want to change. You might start with just one thing. You might do three things. I don't know how many things. Some people think it's wise to just start with one and focus on that one and get better at that and add something else. Other people say, I can handle 2 or 3 things at a time, but decide what you want to change, then develop a plan. Now, I've got a video called How to Set Goals for 2025 and Actually Keep Them. And that will talk to you about the things you need to do to make sure you sustain that you don't start with short bursts of energy and then quit along the way and just give up along the way like many people do, but you'll sustain it and you'll actually accomplish your goals. It's called, again, How to Set Goals for 2025 and Actually Keep Them. Watch that video, and that video will talk to you about how to set a plan and how to develop a goal and how to get moving on the things you want to do. And then we need to slowly but steadily execute. So decide what you want to change, develop a plan, and begin slowly and steadily executing. But now, my friends, is the time to do it. Get about it. Don't just get excited about the new year and, just get a little bit emotional about it. I want you to understand that something happens to make this the easiest time for you to make a change. Now, if you're watching this at some other time than the new year, you may not have all the momentum I've talked about, but you can still make change. You can still begin to do the things that you need to do to make change. So watch my video, again, How to Keep Goals in 2025. Doesn't matter if it's middle of 2025. Doesn't matter if you're watching in 2026. It doesn't matter. The principles are the same, but you can begin to bring change any time of the year. But I really believe it's easiest now to get going. Might be a little harder later because things are different. Life is different. Life cycles are different, but that's okay. You can still do it. But if you're watching this at the beginning of the year, it could be the first couple of weeks or first couple of months of the year, the first quarter of the year, it doesn't matter. You can get at it because it becomes easier at the beginning of a new cycle. And you, my friends, can imprint, can begin to reprogram your life so that there's a newness, there's a new reality about you, and the you've always dreamed of being, you could start down that road. I'm praying for your journey. I believe it's going to be a great journey, but I want you to get up and get moving. The whole goal of this video is to get you moving, get you motivated, and let you know this is your time. So get about changing. Do me a favor. Let me know in the comments what you got out of this. Tell me what you got out of it. Reach down and talk to me. I would appreciate that. And if this meant something to you, share it with somebody else. And don't forget to give me one of those likes, And why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel so when I do my next video, it'll pop up and you don't have to worry about coming to find me. Listen, blessings to you. Enjoy the new you. It's on the way.